along with Joanne Roberts, who's the interim leader until May's replaced next October.
Yeah.
Congratulations, condolences, or is that the way it's supposed to work?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's great.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a one-woman party leader. I'm sorry, for so long we've almost forgotten any other party. But what do you think you have to look for in the next leader?
Well, first, you know I will disagree with you. I wanted to go out but
Agreed.
on a high. Come on. We had over 1 million votes. We improved our popular vote by 87%. So, and we have 3 elected Greens, including a breakthrough into Atlantic Canada.
Okay.
So we are, and I wanted to choose the moment that I left the party at a moment where we had success, where we could feel the momentum, because the thing that is still my #1 goal is climate action, and the Green Party is the only party that's going to do it. So I want to make sure that before the next election, given a minority parliament, might be sooner than later, that's the explanation for timing. We've got to get going to get a new leader well enough known to the Canadian electorate that I can run for my seat in Saanich Gulf Islands, and Paul Manley and Jenica Atwin run for re-election, and this time Joanne Roberts gets in.
Well, okay. Okay, then I'll turn to you, since she's not answering my question.
No.
You can't run for the job full-time next
No.
October, but what does the Green Party need to take it from 3 seats higher?
You know, I think we stand on Elizabeth's shoulders, and we know that. But I think the momentum is there now to say, I'm not going to say young, but new.
You can say young.
Can I say
I'm
young?
65.
Okay.
So we can say chances
But
are younger.
I think we look at our candidates from this last election, and we see more diversity. We see a lot of youth. We see broad experience. We see Indigenous leaders. We see all of that. It is time now, because we are on a roll. People are saying, hey, maybe I could go somewhere with that party, that they'll want to run. So I think we're hoping that will come forward. All of those categories will come forward, and people will have some choice.
But I'm still, sorry, I don't want to rain on your parade or not, but, you know, in 2008 you run, and you get like 6.8% of the popular vote. 2019 you run, you get 6.5% of the popular vote. Is that real progress? It's like you've planted this bulb and it's the shoots have come up, but that's
It is real
it.
progress. In 2008, we didn't have a single elected Green at the provincial or federal level anywhere in Canada. When I was elected in 2011, it was something that wasn't supposed to happen under first past the post. We've defied that expectation with Greens elected. Right now, there are 19 elected Greens when you count up the ones in provincial legislatures, including official opposition in Prince Edward Island. I mean, we have changed the map and percentage of popular vote. I'm happy the popular vote has gone up enough that getting more than 1 million votes, which is a high watermark for us, is around the same as what we got in 2008. But what this does demonstrate is that Canadians know that if you can vote for a Green, you can elect a Green. And in a minority parliament, we're going to go back to the polls pretty soon, a lot of people who voted for one of the other parties that claimed to care about climate action is already disillusioned. I mean, Mr. Singh has said what his bottom line is to support the Liberals, didn't mention climate. So a lot of people are going to be looking at Greens and saying, darn, I should have voted Green last time. So when we come around to the next election, we don't know when it will be, but it won't be 4 years, we will have fresh leadership that I support, that we support, and we all work together.
The other thing about that, and I think it's important, is you talked about how well Elizabeth did in 2008. There's something about new leader momentum. And I think the leader of the NDP saw that this time around, where people are interested in, what do they eat for lunch, and, where do they buy their shoes, or whatever. Some of that is, the country knows Elizabeth May really well. And they also know she wants to talk about issues and whatnot. So I think some of that personality side, we will have momentum on our side with a new leader. And that's just the nature of politics.
I thought in terms of, winning leadership debates, one of the reasons I did well in 2008 is I got in one debate and everyone was stunned that I won it.
Yeah.
In 2019, I kind of think I did well in all the debates, but nobody mentioned that I existed because whatever. So I think it is time that a fresh new leader will have opportunities that, frankly, I don't have now. And the reality is, you know this, my daughter, Kate, I promised her 2019 is the last time. So it wasn't as if election results were disappointing or I'm taking into account this or that factor. I made a promise, and I'm really happy to keep it.
There's something to be said about that. Look what's happened to the Bloc. They get a new leader, and they go from, you know,
No kidding.
oblivion to
Right.
third place party.
And look at first past the post. We got almost the same votes that they got. They got 32 seats, and we got 3.
Why wait a full year, though, Joanne?
Well,
Seems like you could have it quicker and get
Well,
that leader more established.
there is something to be said, especially if you have a dynamic group of candidates.
And you've got that?
We think we will. We'll probably unveil them early spring, have a summer of while everyone else is sitting around enjoying summer vacations. We'll be out doing, you know, potlucks and prides with and all candidates debates. I think that will actually help build momentum for us. Then we announce at our convention in Charlottetown the new leader, and who knows, that new leader possibly gets a chance at a by-election. Also helps
Or gets
build.
a chance at a general election.
And then a general election.
Might get one pretty sooner rather than later.
So Elizabeth's wise. Elizabeth, if people forget how capable she is in being politically savvy, now's the time.
Okay. Well, you're sticking around, so it might be premature to talk legacy, but I still wonder how 10 years ago, you ran for the first election, 11 years ago, you ran the first election, and those same targets are the targets now for greenhouse gas
Actually,
emissions.
they're much worse now.
Oh,
they
they're
were
worse.
better then.
Do you despair after 13 years?
I am enraged. It's not despair. I'm enraged. I'm enraged that we have the main parties claim, not the Conservatives, but the Liberals and the NDP claim they have a commitment to climate action, but they don't. And in the election campaign, I had hoped that it would be clearer for voters that if you care about climate, the only party that's going to work for you meaningfully is the Green Party. I think that will be clearer in the next election because people who voted NDP are already disillusioned because Jagmeet Singh has said, these are my only red lines for supporting the Liberals, doesn't include climate. And and actually Justin Trudeau still has an opportunity. Change the target before the next climate negotiations. They open in early December in Madrid. Change the target now.
Very quickly then, I like both your thoughts on this, former leader and current leader. Trump says we're out. We're out of the UN climate change deal, the Paris Agreement. Says the U.S. has got a perfectly realistic and pragmatic plan.
Under the
If you can't get the U.S. under control, how can you make this
Number one,
happen?
the U.S. is still in the Paris Agreement. Trump's first day to legally exit Paris will occur the day after the next U.S. election. So we'll see. Meanwhile, what we call in the international negotiations talk about sub-national governments, by which we mean, what's California doing? What's New York doing? What's Texas doing? And the reality is that the United States, to this moment, is still reducing greenhouse gases more than we are here.
Quick last word to you on that, since you're the current leader.
Well, I think we should never forget that the president of the United States is running for re-election, and that's what everything he does is about.
Okay, we will see. All right. Congratulations again. I didn't mean to give you a hard time on that. But,
No. You have to rain on the parade. It's your job.
No, not your parade. All right. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Joanne. We'll see you around.